Ever notice how there's always enough money for the cops and the military? There's never enough money to help people out in times of need, to strengthen our schools, for healthcare, for infrastructure. No, there's never enough money for that kind of stuff. But the cops and the military, always just an unlimited fountain of money for them. Now, the United States government issues a fiat currency, which means that by order of the Congress, they essentially do have an unlimited supply of money. It's not like they have to go and mine for the money that they use to pay for all their bullshit. It's just something they can magically create out of thin air. It's backed by nothing. It's hocus pocus. It's fake. And the reason they always have money for the cops and the military is because both of those things are the implementation of their authoritarianism. The cops are authoritarianism domestically, and the military is an authoritarianism or a threat of force internationally. And that's the system you support when you're saying, oh, I support the police or I support the troops. Fuck the troops, fuck the police. Because worship of these institutions, the military and the police, is done to keep you in line and to make you accept the fact that you're being dominated by an unjust system. Fuck America. Fuck this society. It's a fucking scam. The social contract, the idea behind the social contract is that we agree not to live in the state of nature because it's better to live within a society because it provides us comfort and safety and whatever else is allegedly supposed to come from living in a society. But it's a contract. That means the government, the society, is supposed to justify its existence by actually doing what's right for the citizens within that society. But our government has long since given up the pretense that that's even what they're trying to do. They've never done that, essentially. They've always been brutal. They've always been about authoritarianism over the regular common folk. The American Revolution was not some valiant effort to overthrow the domination of a king in order to give people more liberty and freedom so that they could live better, happier lives. No, it was the imposition of the will of one dominant class over the underclasses. And that dominant class just wasn't mad that they also had to answer to a king above them. We are still living in this bullshit American system that is, its foundation is subjugation and dominance. Whether it be because they were actively enslaving human beings, committing genocide against Native Americans, or just using classic class subjugation against people that they convinced were part of the in-group. Idiots who were convinced that these disgusting, hideous creatures we call the Founding Fathers were looking out for their best interest. And still today, that's what we have. That's what we're faced with. It's a fucking joke. And we all buy into it because that's what we're told. There's all kinds of structural propaganda, and our education system is designed to perpetuate the idea in our head that this system, this society that we, by no choice of our own, were thrust into, is there for us, to protect us, to make us feel better, to make us happy and free and safe. They always have more than enough money to pay the Boeing salesman when he shows up to the Pentagon, wanting to sell the soon-to-be obsolete trillion-dollar fighter jet program. There's always enough money for the cops when they come crawling to the federal government saying they need a handout to buy more weapons of war to police our streets. This system is a fucking fraud that's been perpetrated on all of us. And honestly, I don't know what the way out is. I don't know if there's an escape. I don't know if it can change. There's a good chance that it's only going to get worse. But every day that you wake up and struggle to pay your bills, all that anxiety you have about having to pay your mortgage or your rent or your healthcare bills or whatever else you have to pay, just remember, there is always enough money for the cops and the military.